You're talking about here. Ukraine is the second least energy efficient country in the world, second from the bottom. Ukraine, if it just improved, not to Germany's level, but just to Poland's level, backs out almost all of the natural gas it imports. Teach a country to fish. It has vast, untapped natural gas resources. Vast. Third in Europe. Teach a country to fish, to develop its own energy resources. That's where we should be. That would scare Russia. That would petrify Russia. That would be the Ukrainian people banding together themselves, saying, we must do this. So I introduced a bill this morning to deal with this Achilles heel of Ukraine that doubles the funding for the State Department, USAID, Export-Import Bank, OPIC, U.S. Trade and Development Agency, to deal with this issue, both of energy efficiency and natural gas development inside their own country. To leverage programs that are already there, but to bring in our expertise to help them to telescope the time frame that it takes for them to do it. So that is, without question, where we have to be as a nation. That is our opportunity. And exporting LNG from our country, heat their homes for a day. We can do that. But that's really not where we should be. And I'll just add parenthetically here, for those who are criticizing President Obama's plan on Monday that the EPA announced to reduce our greenhouse gases and decrying the increase in electricity rates here in America for doing that, they are the very same Republicans who are also supporting exporting our natural gas, which is going to so dramatically increase our own domestic electricity rates that it will dwarf any increase that comes from the President's announcement on Monday for what the EPA is doing. It's not even close, if that's a concern. But just to this subject, which we should be able to work together on in a bipartisan basis, that's where we should be, and that's what we should be leveraging. You are an expert on this, Congresswoman. Can you talk a little bit about energy efficiency, about this whole area, and how dramatic you believe it can make as a difference, given your own experience with your lighting legislation here in America? You really do know this issue cold.
Thank you, Senator Markey. It's kind of interesting to see you at the bottom of the queue on a committee. This is new for me. But
a little bit of humility is a good thing.
Yes, you're very humble now.
I'm proud of my humility. By the way.
You and I worked closely together on energy and efficiency, and so did all of our colleagues on the House Commerce Committee, and I think we did pretty well. And you mentioned light bulbs, which were a bipartisan initiative and passed on a bipartisan basis. And efficient light bulbs seems like a little thing, saves a huge amount of energy. We also did building standards, and we did fuel efficiency, and we did a number of other things. I can't vote here anymore, but I certainly support your initiative to help countries help themselves. It's the point we've all made about tough love for Ukraine. They have to take these steps, but we could give them tools that would help them take these steps. So I think others may want to comment, but I think this is a very good angle. Finally, I said something, I'm not sure you were here, about using our asymmetric strength against Russia. Our asymmetric strength is our economy. Our asymmetric strength is some of our good ideas like these. And the aid we give Ukraine could help with these ideas. And that would go a lot further than some of the other ideas that are more kinetic.
May I ask each one of the witnesses, just very briefly, I don't have a lot of time, on this question of energy efficiency, natural gas. We have to help them with the reverse flow and other issues, but the real issue, do you all agree this is an area where we should really zero in on, and that'll make the bigger long-term difference than any change in the LNG marketplace?
Certainly energy efficiency in Ukraine and helping Ukraine produce its own natural gas is a big thing. And I think we actually may be moving in that direction. In 2012, the price that Ukrainian households paid for their heating gas was 1/6 the price that Ukraine was paying to import that. By raising the prices, they're going to introduce a huge incentive for all of those households to close the windows in
Thank you,
winter.
Ambassador Jeffrey.
Absolutely, it's two major components, along with others, and I would include us exporting LNG and encouraging Europe to get it from other sources as well.
Even if it does increase electricity rates in the United States.
For reasons that go well beyond the Ukraine,
I
I would
appreciate
say
that.
yes.
Yes, Congressman?
Senator I doesn't take a position on energy legislation nor sanctions legislation. I will say that we believe in a comprehensive approach. So it's almost all of the above in terms of building capacity in Ukraine.
With regard to technical expertise, however, the Ukrainian government welcomes on energy diversification and a host of all the reform issues. They welcome technical expertise in a major way as they go forward.
Yeah, I think that we really do have a huge opportunity here, and the more we learn about this country is the more that we can see that it can be transformed in the blink of an eye. They could increase their energy efficiency by 10% in 2 years. They could increase their energy efficiency by 50% in 5 years. We have to use every bit of leverage that we have in order to help them accomplish that goal. That's what's going to keep Gazprom up at night with nightmares. That's why China looms larger in their life, because they're going to see a market shrinking dramatically, and their geopolitical leverage as well, because that's what it's really all about. Whether you talk about Syria or Iraq or Libya, unfortunately oil underlies a lot of each one of those regions, and here we really get a chance to do something for them that makes them self-sustaining. And my hope is that we can talk about this issue on a bipartisan basis in the committee and get right at the heart of their weakness, get right at the heart of what this whole story is about, which is their necessity today of importing natural gas. But it's something that we can really change dramatically and have the Ukraine say to Russia, we don't need your natural gas any more than we need your soldiers. And that's a statement they should be able to make in the very near future if we help them to construct a plan and we give them the help they need in order to be successful. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And Senator Markey may be the newest member of the committee, but he is front and center on energy policy and global affairs, and we appreciate his expertise in the committee.